Ever feel like your retirement savings are on a scarier ride than your teenager's first time behind the wheel? Are you ready to build a financial fortress that can weather financial storms? Fantastic, because we're about to show you how to add some serious shock absorbers to your retirement plans.
In a world where chaos seems to reign supreme, where uncertainty lurks around every corner, and financial markets are now more unpredictable than ever, there's one place you can turn to find clarity and control. Welcome to the Wealth Wisdom Financial Podcast.
Hey, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Amanda.
Join us as we dive deep in the world of personal and business finance
to assist you in navigating through the chaos and building the financial future you deserve.
We believe when conventional financial thinking doesn't get you where you want to go,
you need wealth wisdom.
So if you're ready to take control of your financial destiny,
tune in to the Wealth Wisdom Financial Podcast.
Because in a chaotic world, your money shouldn't be.
Subscribe now and never miss an episode.
Okay, welcome back, our financial warriors and resiliency seekers. If you caught the last episode, we talked about building overall financial strength and financial resiliency. If you missed that episode, definitely go back and check it out. Today, we're going to be zooming in on your retirement strategy and talking about building resilience there. Because let's face it, your golden years should be spent enjoying life, not stress eating discount noodles. So we're diving into a tool that could help you turn your retirement plan from a flimsy beach umbrella into a storm-proof bunker. And trust me, in today's economic climate, you'll want to be the one sipping coconut water in your financial fortress while others are scrambling for cover. You ever been at the beach when you see a storm roll in, right? Like the people that are ready for that storm, they get to keep enjoying the time, but the others that aren't ready, they're like running, trying to figure out where they can go, where they can hide from the storm. Want you to be ready because you might be on the beach in retirement, but if you're not ready for the storm, you might be trying to find some cover very soon.
And if you're younger and you really like that other episode, keep listening to this one because, let's face it, at one point we are going to age and it's important. Or you might know somebody who really needs this and you could be their, I wouldn't say savior, but somebody
hero,
who
financial hero.
Yeah. Along the way because you were thinking about them. So,
okay, let's dive in.
Yeah. So picture this. You're in your favorite recliner watching the news. The stock market's doing its best impression of a yo-yo, and your 401k statement is starting to look like a horror novel, but yet you're told never look at it. But you kind of have that feeling. And you have flashbacks to jokes from 2008 about 401ks turning into 201ks, right? You ever hear that? And then you're thinking about that and your chest starts to tighten. I think that is sometimes some experiences that people are having.
Sometimes, too often.
And you're wondering if you should have just stuffed your retirement funds under the mattress. At least then you'd know where it was, right? That's, unfortunately, I hear this way too often.
But hold on to your reading glasses because we're about to explore the financial world's version of helmet and knee pads. It's what's called, you ready this? You got your reading glasses holding on, sitting down?
I got them.
Okay. Fixed index annuities.
Uh-oh.
Don't hit the move button. Don't leave us here. We know you've maybe heard some bad things about it or maybe some good things about it. Let's see what this can mean.
Now, again, you might have heard that because there's certain people that really want you to keep it in risk places. And what we're not saying is to do everything into
Well, you're getting ahead of us.
Now, I know annuities sound about as exciting as watching paint dry, but stick with us. Imagine if your money could go to a party where it has the chance to dance with the stock market gains, but if things get rowdy, it can sit safely in the corner, protected from the losses. That's essentially what a fixed index annuity does.
And here's the kicker, folks. The financial decisions you make in the decade before retirement and the decade after retirement, that kind of 10 to 20 year period, can have the biggest impacts on your golden years. way bigger than any impact of a questionable haircut you might have gotten in the 80s.
I had one.
That time period, the 5 to 10 years before to the 5 to 10 years after retirement is like the financial equivalent of the witching hour. Except instead of spooky stuff happening at midnight, it's your money doing the magic or the disappearing act, in that 5 to 10 years before retirement to the 5 to 10 years after retirement. So you might think of your, late 50s to early 70s.
So let me break it down with an example. Meet Bob and Sue, our hypothetical couple, or maybe not so hypothetical, actually.
We did make this up.
Yeah.
There's no Bob and Sue.
There's no Bob and Sue, but I feel like I can picture Bob and Sue because I've talked to them somewhat. They're both 55, dreaming of retirement at 65. They've got some savings, but they're worried about market volatility. They decide to put a portion, not all, but a portion of their nest egg into a fixed indexed annuity.
Now, fast forward 10 years. The market's been more unpredictable than a cat on catnip, but Bob and Sue, they're sipping pina coladas on that beach, knowing their annuity grew in the good years and didn't lose a penny in the bad ones. Meanwhile, their neighbor Jim, who went all in on the latest stocks, is considering whether his garden shed could qualify as a tiny home for his retirement years.
Now, I feel like we've talked to Jim as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Stay tuned for the flip side after our commercial break to hear more.
Ready to take the next step towards securing your financial future? Whether you're planning for retirement, saving for your dream home, or you just want to make your money work harder for you, the team at Wealth Wisdom Financial are ready to assist you. And now, it's easier than ever to see how we might give you a boost on your financial journey.
Schedule a 15-minute discovery call with one of us today.
And let's discuss your questions and your financial goals together.
Don't wait any longer. Your financial freedom awaits. Schedule your discovery call at www.wealthwisdomfp.com/call.
Now, I can hear during the commercial break, I could hear some of you typing furiously into Google, what's the catch? Well, fixed indexed annuities are not the fountain of youth. They're not an all-you-can-eat buffet of market returns. I'm sorry, if you were looking for the fountain of youth, we don't know where it is either.
Yeah. I thought you did. You might be thinking, but I heard annuities are more complicated than assembling IKEA furniture. And believe me, I was assembling IKEA furniture yesterday. It is confusing. Or aren't they just for people who wear socks with sandals? I mean, like
not the IKEA furniture, but the annuities.
The annuities, yeah. The IKEA furniture, yeah. Socks with sandals. Have you ever seen somebody that does that? I had to ask Amanda about that. I was like, who does that? Oh, wait. My dad.
Yeah, people just a little bit older than you. You'll get there one day.
Hopefully not.
Look, we get it. These products, all financial products, but in particularly annuities, can seem as confusing as trying to understand why your grandkid keeps saying skibbity. But here are two of the most important things you need to know about annuities, and particularly these fixed index annuities.
Number one, they are not meant to be your entire retirement plan. Think of them as the airbags in your financial vehicle. You hope you never need them, but you're darn glad you have them if things get crashy. And at some point, you are going to use them for income.
Yeah, and there's still going to be that airbag even after you've turned them into income. And then number two is there's like 19 different kinds of annuities, and many of them deserve every word the haters say about them online. We agree most of the time. But personally, as we've looked into this, we found about 3 of those 19 different kinds that we think are actually worth looking into and can do some really good stuff for people in their retirement years. The kinds we like often have these kinds of attributes. They have no or very low fees. When some of them have really high fees. They have downside protection. If these are meant to be airbags, you don't want to be losing your airbags halfway through your drive. They also have multiple options for growth. You're not just stuck in one kind of way of growing that you can't get out of. And get this, The fourth attribute we look for is increasing income. Yes, you heard that right. No more fixed income when inflation is soaring. That is not what we would want for our retirement. That's not what we want for other people too.
Yeah, we want to make sure we can still eat well, even though inflation keeps going and we can't afford or feel like we can't afford the bread or eggs because they're so dang expensive. And finally, about those returns. No, you probably won't be buying a private island with your annuity gains. But remember, slow and steady growth you can count on beats a thrilling financial roller coaster that might leave you broke and queasy, and a financial roller coaster that seriously you can't get off of.
Yeah. And who wants to be on a roller coaster in their 70s? Maybe some 70-years out there, you love roller coasters still. I've heard as you get older, that queasiness is more and more often on roller coasters.
Yeah.
That's why you only see a lot of young people out there on it. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not to that age yet. And this guy doesn't like roller coasters. I haven't been on one for years. Okay, let's get back to this. Let's conclude. Okay, so the years around retirement are like the fourth quarter of the big game.
The big game.
The big game. And that's when the plays really, really count. And fixed index annuities can be your defensive line, protecting your hard-earned savings while still giving you a shot at some gains. Now, I'm not a big football person, but even I know that the defensive line still scores touchdowns sometimes. There was, what is that? We're in Cincinnati, the fumble in the jungle, where the defensive line recovered a fumble on like the 1st or 2nd yard line and got it all the way down to their end zone. Like,
wow.
That's what defense can do. We all know defense, it's football season, right? Like, gotta talk about this. That's what a fixed index annuity could do. They can be your defensive line, but it's not that they're just there to defend. They can also give you some shot at some pretty good gains. Not anything to buy a private island, but something really great, worth looking into.
Yeah, and it's not about getting rich quick or impressing your golf buddies with your financial acumen. It's about creating a retirement where your biggest worry is whether to have fish or chicken for dinner, not whether you can afford dinner at all. And that's, again, some of the people that we're dealing with. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be bad.
Yeah. So we're not here to sell you anything or convince you the fixed index annuity is the greatest thing since sliced bread. We want to just pique your interest. Make sure you know about this as an option. And then we assume, hearing some of this as an option, you're ready to explore if this could be one of the ingredients to add to your retirement recipe, maybe even the secret sauce that you've been trying to figure out. What is this? So we've whipped up an example called expand your income in retirement. Remember, we want an increasing income, not fixed income in retirement.
We whipped it up too.
We whipped it up. Yeah, that's so you can grab that in the Wealth Wisdom financial community faster than you can snag the last donut in the break room. We're going to put a link in the show notes. Go join us there. We'd love to get your reaction to that video and help continue you in the learning process. There's a lot you can learn. We're going to give you the tools to help you learn quickly and effectively what could be great to look into more.
And tune in next week when we'll be digging up financial wisdom from past recessions that's more valuable than your grandma's secret cookie recipe. And I know that's valuable because, you know,
grandma's cookies were great.
My aunt, yeah, they are amazing. Until then, keep your money growing and your worries shrinking. We need to lower the worries, not increase them as we age.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us. Hit that subscribe button. I know what's in the next episode, and I know you're going to love it. We've got lessons from the Great the Great Depression in the 1930s, some lessons from the 1970s during the high inflation and hyperinflation that was there, and we've got some lessons from the Great Recession in the 2000s that we're going to be sharing with you, the 3 R's of recession resiliency. I'm super excited about that.
Rumble.
No. So thanks for joining us. We hope that you live long and profit.
The topics presented in this podcast are for general information only and not for the purpose of providing legal, accounting, or investment advice. On such matters, please consult a professional who knows your specific situation and actually knows what annuities are and how to design the right ones.